All right, welcome back to Morning Live. And as told you earlier, Dr. Batha Kaimenyi is here in studio, and we want to touch base on matters responsibility from now our institutions, which are headed by principals, deputy principals, and of course now the overall board of governors, the overall school heads. Now, the problem is a school student, actually, that's a girl child, was actually left out in the cold after being suspended. And now she was taken to a center and abandoned by the school school head and the principal somewhere in the dark. Now they got their room somewhere and they left the girl inside a boys' school to sleep in the van alone. Now already you can imagine what that is. And of course the risk that the girl had actually been left to experience, and which was kind of uncouth from where I'm seated. Now in studio, it's Batha, which he'll be telling us about now the whole scenario and of course what needs to be done. The parenting also has to come in and so much more, even including your kids, our kids waking up so early in the morning at 4 a.m. to go to school. Karibu sana, Daktari.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful to be here.
Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Now, first things first, as I've mentioned, that is very unfortunate. And
Yes.
The school head, the suspension was kind of very, very uncouth, because even if you want to suspend a student, never leave her, especially a her, in a van over the whole night. It's cold, risky, and in the middle of a boys' school. Now, where are you losing the plot as far as the humane and ethics and even professionalism is concerned?
Yes, I think some of these principles or ends, it also depends on the way they were brought up. Because if you see Alinda behaving that way, they also have personal issues. Because you'd expect a person of that caliber, or that level in leadership, not just suspend the child, but also make the parents aware. I have been a PTA chair in one of our girls' schools in Nairobi, in Precious Blood.
Okay.
So anytime a student had negative behavior, it was a joint collaboration between the school and the parents.
Okay.
So there's no way you can suspend a girl child, not even a boy child,
Yeah, a girl child.
without being sensitive that this is a girl. She needs extra care. Okay, how will she get home? Okay, even the minute you put her in a bus, because the school should literally take this child to a bus stop and connect the other end with the parents that have put your daughter in a bus or a train or whatever it is. Please, can you wait for her on the other end?
Okay.
So there's that communication, so that whatever happened to the child, both the school and the parents are aware that our child is coming, so that when they are received on the other hand, then the parents inform the school, actually she's here.
Yeah.
Okay. But in this scenario, we find leaders who are not sensitive.
It's true.
Okay.
It's true.
So that was unethical and unacceptable, and so we need to think how we run schools.
Okay.
Okay. We need to think, the board needs to think new ways of doing things, so that everything is done in a humane way.
Okay. Now, when you talk about responsibility, I understand also as a school head, the aspect of servant leadership is quickly eroding away from our school heads. Now, for example, whipping of students was kind of controlled, and now we are seeing minimized cases of school girls and boys being whipped, especially in primary and secondary schools. But do you think the solution, the long-term solution, should be the backbone of the purpose of leadership, the servant leadership? What do you think about all this now when you focus on our heads of schools?
I like the one you're using, servant leadership, and I'm happy that you're a graduate of Desta University.
Thank you.
We are proud of you.
Thank you.
Where the theme or the vision of Desta is to create servant leaders.
Absolutely.
Because formerly, the hands of schools were actually servants. By the way, they literally stayed in the schools.
Okay.
You never had a principal, master or the mistress outside the school compound. They usually used to have a house within the school compound, so that they monitor how they are. They behave like parents.
Yeah, sure.
They were literally parents to all the girls and boys that were under them. So that as you stay in your house, you are listening.
Yeah.
What is going on during the night? So in my high school, when I was in Kabale Girls, the principal would leave our house and just walk around the compound to make sure everything is okay. We are doing prep. We used to call it prep. evening studies.
I hear some wear school uniforms.
Yes, we used to have school uniform.
Like the principal wears school uniform patrolling around.
So you not know. You not know who is the principal, who is the
Yes,
head
the
girl,
student,
who is the student, you know. So she would walk very quietly in the class, who is talking, who is disturbing others. You know, you hear somebody holding your neck from the back.
Yeah.
You know, before you look at, you say, this is the principal. Okay?
Yes,
And she did it in such a humane way. She'll tell you, they are high touch, see you again, talking in class. And then she'll leave.
Okay.
Because the principal has seen you at night, you never do that again.
Wow, it's true.
Okay?
That is true.
So it was done in a very mean way. Okay? So that children, also the students, felt the principal, the headmaster was their father, was their mother, because of the way they did it. You know, they did it to discipline you, not to harass you in a negative way. Okay? And so we need to rethink that. They were servants. They were parents.
It's true.
Even now when I remember my principal, you know, I see her as my mother. You know, the respect I have for her.
It's true.
Okay? Not now where students don't respect their principal. You know, they will see you on the street and not even say hi to you. Okay? But when I see my principal now, I want to say hi to her. I want to tell her what I have become.
It's true.
Because she was part of my bringing up. So we need to, the boards need to rethink the role of the principal, even when they are hiring the principal or the master or mistress, they need to give her terms of reference.
Yeah.
This is what we expect of you. Can you handle this? Okay? Days are gone where you are hired just to work and get a salary. You actually must deliver.
It's true.
Okay?
It's
In
true.
terms of making the students are well behaved, because schools must complement parenting. Maybe we'll talk that later.
Absolutely.
But the role of bringing up ideal children is the role of the parents. That one you cannot negotiate. We cannot delegate the role of parenting.
Okay.
It is the mother and the father to discipline their children, to bring up their children, because a child who is educated only in school is an educated child. A child who is educated only in school is an educated child. So the role of bringing up children belongs solely at the feet of the parents.
All right.
So schools are there to complement whatever parents are doing at home. Okay, bringing up children who have various goals that we want to see in a child. A child who is visionary, a child who loves his country. You know, a child who loves to work and not sit around watching movies and on smartphone. Because now you see on organizations like I mentioned, I'm a lecturer in DESTA. We call the industry to ask them how our students are doing. And we don't, sometimes we see very good reports that DESTA students are the best, and I think you are the best, especially in the area of communication.
Thank you.
But they tell us the others who work in other areas like in accounting and everywhere, where some of the students go and they do not perform.
It's true.
They go to work late, okay? When they go to work, they are on their smartphones. You know, they want to go for tea, not at 10:30 or 11. They want to go at 10. They spend the whole morning going for tea. They come at 12. At 1, they want to go for lunch. When has this student worked?
It's true that. It's true.
So the industry is telling us some of the students are not disciplined.
It's true.
Okay? Some of them are. But when does this start? In the home.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Where you are not giving your child responsibility in the home. A child wakes up, they don't make breakfast, and they are grown-ups, high school. Children, when they go for holiday, they don't do anything.
It's true
A
that.
child just wakes up on their smartphone. From the bedroom, they go to downstairs, watch TV. The house girl does everything. Okay? So these children are not responsible.
So from
and
your
this
conversation,
translates now when they go to the workplace.
From conversation, it's clear also the student's side, there's some irresponsibility of some sort, and it sparks reaction from the school heads to whom most likely do not know how to deal with them. Now, from the student's angle, let's now talk about responsibility and also the fact that now discipline is essential for survival in a boarding school.
Yes.
For example, let's say maybe the student who was kicked out the other day was in discipline in a certain way and was just like needed to leave the school as soon as possible. Now, when dealing with such students, I understand at the end of the day we'll blame parenting as a key reason for why this happened. But do you think also our society has a gap? Because you remember during our days when I was growing up, even a neighbor can cane you
That's right.
But these days, things have changed.
Yes.
Now, it boils down to our society.
Yes.
Do you think our society is not kind of shaky these days, whereby you can, my son or my daughter, it's a police case?
Now, that's very important, very, very important, because a child usually is brought up by a community. For example, when I was growing up and my parents are not in home for a weekend, my grandmother, my aunties took the responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay? The neighbors took responsibility. If you are walking in the compound and you are fighting each other as you come from school, the neighbors took over and beat you. They beat you, then came and told your parents.
Your parents also beat you.
So your parents also beat you.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So everybody took responsibility of parenting, not just the mother and father. The community did, which now is not happening.
Absolutely.
In the estates, and I see this often, okay? You can see a child riding their bike in front of the cars, you know, and nobody says anything, okay? One time I was taking a walk in my estate, and this young boy is riding his bike, you know, and the car sort of has to stop to allow this boy.
Yeah.
Then I stood him up and told him, can you stop what you are doing? I know your mom, okay? If you don't stop, I'm going to beat you up and go and tell your mom.
Okay.
So I told this boy, can you stop that?
Some are fond of scratching people's cars,
Yeah.
deflecting the tires.
But
There's
you know,
so much
these
happening in the estates.
cars, you know, don't even stop to tell this child this is wrong. They're in a hurry.
Yes,
We're
true.
in a rat race generation. You know, I don't know where people are in a hurry to go.
Yeah,
Because
yes, true.
that driver who is seeing that child doing that should stop his car and discipline that child and then move on.
It's true.
But now we don't care for each other, you know, and it's a reflection of what our society has become.
Okay.
A very uncaring society, and I think this is also happens in every area, in security, everywhere. We should be sensitive where we go to our place of work. We see something that is not normal, we should inform the authorities or the security in the university or an organization, wherever it is. Okay, but now we don't have that caring attitude, you know, and I want to say we need to teach love.
Yeah.
You know, because love changes the world.
Yeah.
Love conquers all.
It's true that.
What we need in our society is love.
Absolutely.
So that when we are brought up in a spirit of love by our parents, you know, love your country, love one another.
Absolutely.
We hear it in organizations. We hear it in our schools. We hear it in our churches. You know, we become a loving society.
It's
because
true.
that's what we need.
Okay.
So that principle will have his children. When you are entrusted with these young people, you know, you should have that loving attitude. That these children have been trusted into my hands to love, so that I can shape them to change Kenya, to change Africa, and to change the world.
Absolutely.
That's what servant leadership is.
Now, finally, do you think there's pressure in our schools, teachers to perform? They focus on mean scores.
Yes.
They focus on just the glory. You see, the point remains, performance contracts. You don't do it, you're out. Demotions in schools are kind of like the order of the day.
Yes.
You're from a higher school to secondary school to another village school over there. The localization also taking a toll on our school teachers. Now, do you think also these actions actually are kind of catapulting them to maybe be irrational in some way in making decisions? Now, delocalization, my mean score have to improve even by 0.01 from what I had last year. What is happening? Is there pressure?
You know, we have to move away from believing that grades are the key to success. Grades are not. It's character. In fact, grades caters for around 10 or 15% to your success. 85% of who a child becomes in future is character.
It's true.
Look at the people who have changed the world, who have had great innovations, you know, and created great things in the world. Most of them are not students. Okay,
It's true.
and parents don't understand that, so they are pushing their children to schools that they do well, and because of the pressure of the parents also, schools won't perform, okay, so that they can have more children, you know, because I've had cases where the students the teachers will put pressure on a child because the mother is saying, I want an A.
It's true.
When these parents drop their children to school, they tell the principal and the teachers, I want an A. Okay? So what will this teacher or this principal do? You know, put this pressure on these children,
It's true.
you know, to perform. Like I told you, I was a PTA in one of the local schools in Nairobi, and I remember a teacher telling me, you know, your daughter, she's having very good character, but she's not doing well in chemistry. Okay, you go to another teacher, you know, your daughter is a very good character, but she's not doing well in physics. You know, I will go in the parking lot and tell my daughter, as far as I'm concerned, you are number one.
Wow.
If you under C, try and get C+.
Yes.
If you under B, try and get a B+. Yes. I'm not expecting it from you.
Progressional.
Because I knew my daughter. You know, my daughter has very excellent character. Yeah. She's very responsible at home. She'll do her best. Okay. But for the teachers, she wants to be a A student. Yeah. Not necessarily. Yeah. You know. So parents, we should know our children so that when teachers put expectations on us, we know what we know. Okay. Yeah. That my daughter or my son in mathematics is an A student, but in geography he's a B student. So I'm not expecting to get a A in geography when I know he's average in geography. Absolutely. And that is fine. Okay, because maybe in geography that's one not where they're gifting her is. Maybe in physics that's not where their gifting is. Because when God has created us, he has put us certain giftings and talents that we excel in. Okay, and we can't excel in everything. You know, that's why the competency-based education really is as advantageous, but because it will do more on the gifts and the talents of a child than expecting you to pass in everything. Okay. It's not possible.
It's true that.
Because God has created the world in such a way that we all have a specific purpose to fulfill in the world. And if we don't discover what that purpose is, the world will be less because we are not living in our gifting and our talents.
Yes, true.
So we need as parents to tell our children, do your best and excel in what you are created to do. I'm not saying you should not be good in or have certain knowledge in other areas. We need to have basic knowledge in everything, you know, to help us. I'm not an accountant, but I need to know how to balance my books.
Yeah, it's true.
As a mother and a father, okay? I need to know have some basic knowledge to appreciate geography, to appreciate the world. I need some basics. I need some basics in chemistry to treat my children when they're unwell. Yeah. You know, we need some basics in everything.
It's true. Something to lean on.
But I don't have to be a student in chemistry.
It's true that.
You know, that's unrealistic. There's somebody who needs to have A in chemistry because they're going to do medicine and treat me, because I would not like to be treated when I go to hospital by a doctor who had a C. I would not want that. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So we need to be aware of these diversions, so that we don't expect everything from everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bertha Kaimenyi, for joining us today in studio. And I believe wherever you are, you've really learned something, because sometimes things happen in our schools. And as a parent, please check on your daughters and sons, because sometimes, you know, make frequent visits to these boarding schools. Things are hot there because some of us have gone through that system. It's never that easy. Thank you very much, Daktari. And of course, hope to see you soon again.
Yes.
All right. We're not taking a short break, Karibu Sana. You're taking a short break. When you come back, the conversation continues right here on Morning Live. So stay tuned.